Well, after Pearl Harbor was bombed, one young man in Minnesota knew exactly what he had to do. But his dedication to this country and to this community didn't stop at his military service. In this week's ABC15 Salutes Arizona Veterans honoree is retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Nasch.
It was right after Pearl Harbor, December 7th, 1941, when the Japanese bombed the ships in Pearl Harbor. I was in my home in St. Paul, Minnesota, where I was born and raised. As soon as we heard the news on the radio, I told my father that I'm going to be drafted. If I don't do anything about it, I'll be drafted into the Army. In order to avoid this drafting, I'm going to enlist in the Air Force. That's the one I learned to fly in, PT-17 Stearman. You don't think about being shot down or injured or killed. It was just an exciting adventure to me. We had German fighter planes come into our formation, and we could actually see the pilots' faces. These are two crews I flew with, and a few medals that I acquired. One of my favorite memories was meeting Charles Lindbergh. He came into our barracks and shook hands with us all and answered our questions. It was for about a half hour. It was very friendly. Over a period of 10 years, we effected an adoption, and that was Craig at 2.5 months old. He was our first son. Again, by strange coincidence, we got our first natural-born son, Gary. Jody was born just before we departed Japan. And there's another picture here of the first crew I was with. Yeah, I was a driver's license examiner for a period of years. Then I retired in 1965. And started raising the family. I started at a Red Cross in Phoenix. They needed a driver for their van. I would pick up the children and take them to a location where the parents would meet, and they would associate with the children for an hour. Then I would take the children back to the foster home. After that, I drove for the Blind Center. Another organization I drove for was Meals on Wheels, where I delivered meals to various poor people and those that were maybe handicapped or injured, couldn't get out of their home. I was a teacher's aide in a local school in Mesa. For the second graders, they were just learning to read. And the children would come over by where I was sitting and wanted to sit on my lap, and I'd help them learn to read. Yeah, they called me Grandpa Ralph. That's right. I wanted to do something else to help people, and I enjoyed it because I met a lot of interesting people, and they seemed to like me.
Oh, my goodness. And what's not to like but love? We are so honored to welcome retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Nasch, along with the lovely lady who nominated him, his daughter, Jody Decker. Thank you so much to both of you for coming in. Ralph, yes. To listen to that story of your illustrious, amazing career in the military, how does it make you feel when you look back and all that you've done?
Well, I'm just thankful that I survived two wars, World War II and the Korean War. There were thousands and thousands of men were killed and were taken prisoner of war, didn't survive.
Yes, yes. And thank you for your service, by the way, Ralph, and to be
welcome.
To come back home and to be with your family and raise your family, as you had said, and then turn around and give back and do all the volunteer work that you have done. Why did you choose to do that? There's so many other things you could have done.
Well, I enjoyed it. After retirement, I was just sitting around the house doing nothing, and I wanted to spend my time more constructively. And so I started doing volunteer work, and I enjoyed it very much. And I met a lot of interesting people, too.
I hear you had quite the nickname, Grandpa Ralph.
Hey, Grandpa Ralph, yes. When I was aiding a teacher in the classroom, the little children would come up to the place where I was sitting and want to sit on my lap, and they referred to me as Grandpa Ralph.
That must make you feel so proud and so good, right?
Yes, I enjoyed it very much.
Yes, Jody, you know, looking back at your dad's career and even watching it is a little bit surreal for you, perhaps. Why did you decide, as we did this call to action, why did you decide to nominate your dad?
Well, I really wanted him to be recognized for his years of military service, but also I think he set a really good example as a role model in terms of the community service that he's given back, you know, and really made me think about being active in your retirement years and doing things for others. And I think maybe that's kept him going this long.
Yeah, to this day. You haven't stopped, have you, Ralph?
No.
I have to ask you, that is quite the interesting hat that you're wearing. It looks to be a little well-worn, shall we say. Is that a special hat for you?
I wear it about once or twice a week.
Is that a special hat?
I change it with a yellow cap and another blue cap.
All right. Well,
depends on the clothes I'm wearing.
Oh, well, of course, of course. It's all about how we look, Ralph. And, well, once again, congratulations to you and Jody. Thank you for nominating Ralph and letting the rest of us recognize all of the service that you provided. And once again, thank you, you know, from me and all of us here at ABC15 and from Sanderson Salutes. Sanderson Ford and Lincoln Mercury want to reward you and say thank you. It seems so little for all the amazing things that you've done, but nonetheless, it is a $500 Visa gift card.
Thank you very much.
Yes, so you can maybe, I don't know, maybe take Jody out for lunch now and say thank you back, right? All right, well, thank you once again. And of course, we are going to continue to salute our Arizona veterans right here at ABC 15 and to continue to thank you for all of the service that they continue to provide to our community.